The truth behind the rising tensions between Taiwan and China, and what happens next. Who's on what side in the conflict? And how did we get here? What are the possible solutions, and what consequences could they bring? This geopolitical flashpoint is more than just a regional issue. It could change the world as we know it. Why does Taiwan matter so much? Taiwan is a small island, but its importance in global politics, economics, and security is massive. They are the world's leading producer of advanced semiconductors, are a crucial part of international trade routes, and are a point of tension between two superpowers, China and the United States. For decades, China has claimed Taiwan as its own, while Taiwan operates as a self-governing democracy with its own government, economy, and military. The U.S. maintains a policy of strategic ambiguity, recognizing China's claim, but also supporting Taiwan militarily. Recently, tensions have escalated. Military exercises, diplomatic clashes, and economic threats have made many wonder, is a conflict inevitable? Or is there still a peaceful way forward? We'll explore the key players, the history, the potential solutions, and what could happen next. What led to the current divide between Taiwan and China? The roots of this conflict go back to the Chinese Civil War in the 1940s. After the communists, led by Mao Zedong, defeated the nationalist government fled to Taiwan and continued to claim legitimacy as the true government of China. For decades, Taiwan was considered the official China by many Western nations. But in 1971, the UN recognized the communist-led People's Republic of China instead. This marked the beginning of Taiwan's diplomatic isolation. Despite this, Taiwan thrived. It became a global technology hub and one of Asia's most vibrant democracies. But China never abandoned its goal of reunification, and that's where today's tensions come in. Throughout the 20th and 21st centuries, Taiwan has walked a fine line between maintaining its independence and avoiding direct confrontation with China. While some political factions within Taiwan push for formal independence, others advocate for maintaining the current ambiguous status quo. This delicate balancing act has allowed Taiwan to flourish while avoiding outright war. But with China growing more assertive, the pressure is mounting. Which countries back Taiwan, and why? The U.S. is Taiwan's strongest supporter, supplying it with weapons and military training, while maintaining unofficial diplomatic ties. America sees Taiwan as a key partner in the Indo-Pacific and a bulwark against Chinese expansion. Japan and Australia have also shown strong support, warning China against aggression. The European Union, while not as vocal, has increased diplomatic and economic ties with Taiwan in recent years. A handful of small nations still recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state, though most of the world follows China's One China policy. However, growing concerns about authoritarianism and security in the region have led more countries to voice support for Taiwan. Taiwan's global influence extends beyond diplomacy. It plays a crucial role in global trade and security alliances. The island's semiconductor industry makes it a strategic partner for tech-heavy economies, while its location in the Pacific positions it as a critical player in regional security. As tensions rise, many nations are quietly strengthening ties with Taiwan, recognizing that its stability is essential to both economic and geopolitical interests. Why is Taiwan so important to China? For Beijing, Taiwan is a matter of national pride, historical destiny, and military strategy. Chinese leaders have called reunification a historic mission, and claim that Taiwan has always been part of China. Taiwan's location is crucial. It sits along vital trade routes and acts as a natural barrier between China and U.S. allies in the Pacific. Controlling Taiwan would strengthen China's naval power and weaken America's influence in Asia. There's also the economic factor. Taiwan dominates semiconductor production. China's reliance on Taiwanese technology gives Taiwan a form of leverage. But Beijing wants that technology under its control. Xi Jinping has vowed to reunify Taiwan with the mainland by force if necessary. This is what makes the situation so dangerous. How likely is war over Taiwan? China has significantly increased its military activity near Taiwan, conducting exercises that simulate a full-scale invasion. The U.S. has responded with naval patrols and arms sales to Taiwan. While no side wants war, the potential for miscalculation is high. A single misstep, a military accident, a political crisis, or a misinterpreted provocation, could spiral into a conflict neither side can afford. Some experts believe China is preparing for an invasion within the next decade. Others argue that the costs of war, especially the economic impact and possible global backlash, make it unlikely in the near term. But as tensions rise, the risk of an unintended military confrontation keeps growing. How can this conflict be resolved peacefully? Several solutions have been proposed, including diplomatic negotiations, economic cooperation, and increased global mediation. One option is maintaining the status quo, where Taiwan continues its de facto independence without officially declaring it, avoiding direct confrontation. Another is a formal peace treaty, with China offering some form of autonomy to Taiwan, though this is highly unlikely given Beijing's demands. Still others argue for Taiwan's full recognition as an independent state, but this would almost certainly provoke a major crisis with China. There are no easy answers, but diplomacy remains the best hope for preventing war. What would happen to the global economy if tensions over Taiwan escalate? A Taiwan crisis, whether economic sanctions, military conflict, or a full blockade, would send shockwaves through the world economy. Taiwan produces over 60% of the world's semiconductors and nearly 90% of the most advanced chips, which are essential for everything from smartphones to military hardware. A disruption in Taiwan's supply chain could paralyze industries worldwide. Beyond technology, Taiwan is a major player in global trade. The Taiwan Strait is one of the busiest shipping routes in the world. If conflict disrupts these waters, global supply chains could grind to a halt, causing shortages and price spikes for essential goods, including food and fuel. Sanctions would also escalate economic turmoil. If the US and its allies impose harsh sanctions on China, it could retaliate by restricting exports of rare earth metals and other critical materials. This could lead to a global recession, with nations scrambling to secure alternative supply lines. The uncertainty alone is already affecting markets. Investors fear that worsening tensions could trigger stock market crashes, inflation spikes, and economic instability. While diplomacy remains the best hope for stability, the economic stakes are too high for the world to ignore. What does this mean for the world? Why should the world care about Taiwan? The simplest answer: a conflict over Taiwan wouldn't just be a regional issue, it would have global consequences. A war could disrupt global trade, trigger an economic crisis, and escalate into a full-scale international conflict. The US and China are the world's two largest economies. Any confrontation between them would impact markets, industries, and even daily life worldwide. This is why world leaders are carefully navigating the situation, balancing military deterrence, diplomatic engagement, and economic strategies to avoid catastrophe. As tensions grow, the big question remains: will diplomacy prevail, or is a clash inevitable? What do you think will happen next? Will there be war, or can peace still be achieved? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into global events. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.